Hello everyone, welcome to the 21st Century Academy. My name is Chetan Mora, and in this video we'll learn about this major domains of the Earth. So this is the fifth chapter of Geography uh, NCRT books of sixth class. Okay, so let's begin. So the surface of the Earth is a complex zone in which three main components of the environment meet or overlap and interact. Okay, so the solid portion of the Earth on which we live is called lithosphere. Okay, and the gaseous layer that surrounds Earth is atmosphere. Okay, so where oxygen, nitrogen, carbon dioxide and other gases are found. Okay, so in atmosphere all these gases are found. And the third one is water. Okay, means this hydrosphere. So water covers a very big area of the earth's surface, and this is called hydrosphere. Okay, the hydrosphere comprises of water in all its forms, so that is ice, water or water vapor. Okay, so it can be in any form. Okay, and beside that we have one combined zone which is of interacting zone for this lithosphere, atmosphere and hydrosphere, and that is known as this biosphere. Okay, so biosphere is the narrow zone where we find land, water and air. Okay, thereby you get to know that this land that is part of lithosphere and water that is part of this hydrosphere, and this air is a part the this atmosphere. Okay, so thereby we have this layer. Okay, so let us learn about this origin of these words. Okay, so in Greek language this lithos means stone. Okay, and atmos means vapor, and this hydro means water and bios means life. Okay, so now by this word's meaning we can have a sense of idea that what is the meaning of all these words, as it is seeming this lithosphere, atmosphere and hydrosphere, this biosphere quite high-fi, but in actuality they are not. Once you have this little idea about their origin or their little meaning. Okay, so now let's read these things in little deep or detail. Okay, so lithosphere, the first one. Okay, so the solid portion of the earth is called lithosphere. Okay, and it is comprises of rocks of the earth's crust and thin layer of the soil that contains nutrient elements which sustains organisms. Okay, so there are two main divisions of the earth's surface. So the first one is continent and second one is ocean basins. Okay, so this continent is a landmass and this ocean basin of water bodies. Okay, so all the oceans of the world are connected with one another. Okay, so they are not separate, they are just connected, means they are joined. Okay, intermingled with each other. Okay, and okay, so now the level of sea water remains the same everywhere. Elevation of the land is measured from the level of the sea where it is taken or which is taken as zero. Okay, so you would have observed this if you would have gone to this or visited to this railway station. So there on a board, a yellow color board, so there it is a mark that this station is this and that particular height from the mean sea level. Okay, now let's move ahead. Okay, so here you have been given this map. Okay, so it is comprising of all these oceans and these continents. Okay, so you have this Pacific Ocean and this Atlantic Ocean, if you can see, and South Ocean in the south. Okay, Arctic Ocean. Okay, and this Indian Ocean. So in total we have this five oceans, and these continents are Australia continent, Asia continent, Europe continent, Africa continent, North America and South America, and this Antarctica. So total we have seven continent. Okay, now move ahead. Okay, so the highest mountain peak, that is Mount Everest, is about 8,848 meters above the mean sea level. Okay, so but recently this Nepal, this is updated news. Okay, so recently this Nepal and this China both have agreed that Himalaya is rising. So now they have measured the height of Mount Everest is 8,850 meters. Okay, so 2 meters increased now. Okay, as per the new updates from both the countries agreement. Okay, so now moving ahead, the greatest depth of 11,022 meter is recorded at Mariana Trench, which is in the Pacific Ocean. Okay, so could you imagine that the depth of sea is much more than the highest point? Yeah, it is. So just because you can see them by this number. Okay, okay. Now little read about this fact that you have been given. So Edmund Hillary. Okay, so who is from this New Zealand, and Tenzing Norgay Sherpa. So who is from this India, and these were the first men to climb the highest mountain peak, Mount Everest, on the planet. Okay, so on 29th May 1953. Okay, so we have another person, that is a lady. Okay, so this Junko Tabai, that is she was from Japan, so was the first woman to reach the summit on 16th May 1975. Okay, and the first lady, which was who was from India, was this Bachendri Pal. So she climbed at highest peak on 23rd May 1984. Okay, so you'll have to remember this Bachendri Pal, because this have been asked in many times in many exams. Okay, so Bachendri Pal is about this because this also gives you this stereotype based content also. Okay, and now moving ahead to this continents. Okay, so there are seven major continents. So these are separated by large water bodies. Okay, and these continents are Asia, Europe, Africa, North America, South America, Australia, and Antarctica. Okay, so as I have shown you on the map. Okay, so you can visit these maps also. Okay, so now the first one is Asia. Okay, so let's read about this Asia. So Asia is the largest continent. Okay, and it covers about one third of the total land area of the earth. Okay, and the continent lies in the eastern hemisphere. Okay, eastern hemisphere is you can consider from this 0 degree is passing from this Greenwich or this London. Okay, so from 0 degree to 180 degree in the east, and 0 to 180 degree in the west. So it is from 0 degree to 180 degree in the east is known as the eastern hemisphere, and 0 degree to 180 degree in the west, it is known as western hemisphere. So Asia is totally lies in eastern hemisphere. Okay, and this topic of cancer passes through this continent. Okay, and Asia is separated from the Europe by Ural mountain. Okay, so Ural mountain is in this this Europe, so it is making boundaries. Okay, between this Asia and this Europe, and the combined landmass of Europe and Asia is called Eurasia. Okay, so earlier these maps were quite common. Okay, but now it is just generally Asia and Europe. Okay, so Europe is now next one is Europe. Okay, so Europe is much smaller than Asia, and the continent lies to the west of Asia. Okay, and the Arctic Circle passes through it. Okay, Arctic Circle, which is in the north. Okay, so it is bounded by the water bodies on three sides. So three sides of water bodies are in the north. You have this Arctic Ocean, and in the west you have Atlantic Ocean, and in the east, in the south, you have Mediterranean Sea. So you can see it here in the map also. Okay, so yeah, so Europe you can see here in the north, you can see this Arctic, in the west you can see this Atlantic, and in the south is Mediterranean Sea. Okay, and in the east you have this Russia. So it is a part of Asia. Okay, so Russia. So you can say this combined form of Russia, but just to make the boundaries, so you can consider it in the east is Asia. Okay, and now moving ahead, this Africa. Okay, so Africa is the second largest continent after Asia. Okay, and equator or 0 degree latitude runs or passes through almost through the middle of the continent. Okay, and a large part of Africa lies in the northern hemisphere. Okay, so in the same way you can consider this also. Okay, from 0 degree to 90 degree in the north, so it is northern hemisphere, and 0 degree to 90 degree in the south is southern hemisphere. Okay, and here you can see one thing also. So tropic of Cancer, equator, and tropic of Capricorn, so all three lines passes through these this Africa continent. So Africa is the only continent through which all this equator and this tropic of Cancer and tropic of Capricorn passes. Okay, and we have this Sahara Desert in the Asia, so which is world's largest hot desert, and it is located in Africa. Okay, and the continent is bounded on all sides by the oceans and seas. Okay, so here in this map you can see also about this Asia, this Africa. Okay, so here you have Atlantic Ocean. Okay, and in the Indian Ocean in the east. Okay, in the south you have Southern Ocean. Okay, and in the north you have Mediterranean Sea. Okay, so it is all bounded by this water bodies in all sides. Okay, and you have now next one is North America. So North America is the third largest continent of the world, and it is linked to the South America by a very narrow strip of land that is called Isthmus of Panama. Okay, so uh, Panama is a country, okay, which is of Central America country, Central American country, okay, and it is the country which connects this North and South America, okay. Though we have other countries of Central America also, okay, but it is the main country that connects to the south of the north, okay. So now the next one is the continent lies completely in the northern and western hemisphere. So three oceans surrounds this continent. Okay, so North America, can you imagine? Okay, so in the west you have this Pacific Ocean, in the east you have this Atlantic Ocean, and in the north you have this Canada. Okay, so near here you can see this sea also. This Caribbean Sea is here. Okay, I'll show you. Okay, so here you can see this North America. Okay, in the east you can see Atlantic, in the west Pacific, and this here you have this Pacific or Caribbean Sea also. Okay, so in the south you have Southern Ocean. So these are the ocean water bodies that surrounds this okay, so this is about North America. So North America is not covered by this South, because South Ocean is covering this South America. Okay, so which you will read about in this South America. Okay, so now moving ahead to about this South America. So South America lies mostly in the southern hemisphere. Okay, so which two oceans surrounds it on west and east. Obviously, so it is Atlantic and this Pacific Ocean. So both. This surrounds, okay, and the south you as you have seen this in the map, Southern Ocean in the south. Okay, now the Andes, that is a mountain range, and which is world's longest mountain range, runs through it. Okay, and its length from north to south. Okay, so South America has the world's largest river, that is Amazon. Okay, so Amazon is the river, Amazon, and there is a one website which is in the same name. So Amazon, you know that everything nowadays it has got online shopping website. Okay, so I think you must be familiar with this website also. Okay, and now moving ahead to this. Okay, so here you have also been given here some facts. Okay, so isthmus. Okay, so isthmus is what? A narrow strip of land joining two land masses. Okay, so here isthmus of Panama, as we read earlier. Okay, so it is isthmus means a land strip. Okay, narrow land strip that joins uh, two water bodies, this land masses. Okay, and now we have this another one, that is a strait is a narrow passage of water. Okay, and that connects two large water bodies. Okay, and ocean you can say. Okay, so here one connecting to the one is a part of land and another one is part of this water bodies. Okay, So strait is about this water, and isthmus is about land. Okay, so just remember this fact. And then the strait between India and Sri Lanka, so it is Pak Strait. Okay, so that is in between. Okay, so now next one is Australia. So Australia is is the smallest continent that lies entirely in the southern hemisphere. Okay, and it is surrounded on all sides by oceans and seas, and it is called island continent. Okay, because it's a size. Okay, and beside that it is a island continent because all side it is covered by this water body. Okay, and now moving ahead to this Antarctica. So Antarctica is completely in the southern hemisphere and is a huge continent. Okay, South Pole lies almost in the center of the at the center of this continent. Okay, and it is located in the South Polar region. Okay, and is permanently covered with thick ice sheets. Okay, and there are no permanent human settlements. It is not so habitable part, but we have this research centers there. Okay, so in Antarctica, so India also has a research center here. So the name are Maitri and Dakshin Ganga. So these two are our research center there. Okay, so now moving ahead to this hydrosphere. Okay, so the Earth is called blue planet just because the maximum part of it is covered with water body. Okay, so more than 71% of the Earth is covered with water. Okay, and 29% with the land. Okay, so hydrosphere consists of water in its all forms. So be it ice or water vapor or in liquid form as of water. Okay, so the running water in the ocean and the river and in the lakes, ice in the glacier, underground water, and the water vapor in the atmosphere all comprises the hydrosphere. Okay, and more than 97% of the earth's water is found in the ocean. Okay, and is too salty for human use. Okay, and a large proportion of the rest of the water is in the form of ice sheets, glaciers, or underground water, and a very small percentage is available as fresh water for human. Okay, so here as you can see in the figure, it has been shown here that fresh water is about 2.5% and oceans about 97.5%. Okay, so only 2.5% available as of fresh water for usable. Okay, so here you have been shown this continents. Okay, by this matrix or grid base. Okay, North America, South America, Africa, Europe, Asia, and Australia, and Antarctica in the south. Okay, so it is quite easy for you to understand. Okay, thereby you can have a sense of understanding that which continent lies where. Okay, and now moving ahead to this oceans. Okay, so oceans are major part of hydrosphere. Okay, they are all interconnected, and these ocean waters are always moving. Means they are not static. Okay, or they are not stagnant. Okay, they are just moving. Okay, the three chief movement of the ocean water are the waves, tides, and ocean currents. Okay, so the five major oceans are the Pacific Ocean, Atlantic Ocean, Indian Ocean, Southern Ocean, Arctic Ocean in order of their size. So it has been given. So the first one is as the size, or the biggest one is Pacific, and the smallest one is Arctic. Okay, so the Pacific Ocean is the largest ocean, and it is spread over one third of the earth, and Mariana Trench, which is deepest point on this planet. Okay, so lies in this Pacific Ocean. Okay, the Pacific Ocean is almost circular in shape. Okay, it is round in shape, and this Australia, Asia, North and South America surrounds it. So you can see it in the map as I have shown you earlier in the map. Okay, and now moving ahead to this Atlantic Ocean. Okay, so Atlantic Ocean is in the second largest ocean. Okay, after this Pacific. Okay, and it is in S shape. Okay, and it is flanked by this North and South America on western side and Europe and Africa on the eastern side. Okay, this coastline of Atlantic Ocean is highly indented, means eroded. Okay, and the irregular and indented coastline provides ideal location for natural harbors and ports. Okay, which is very good for this commercial activities kind of thing. Okay, because thereby ships can come and go as a stopping point. Okay, so from the point of view of commerce, yeah, business ocean. And now moving ahead to this Indian Ocean. So Indian Ocean is the only ocean named after a country, that is of India. Okay, and the shape of the ocean is almost triangular. Okay, so it is in triangular shape. So in the north it is bound by Asia, and in the south in the this west Africa, and in the east Australia. Okay, so these things are there. Okay, and now moving ahead to this southern ocean, so it encircles the continent of Antarctica and extends northward to 60 degrees south latitude. Okay, so it is quite smaller in area also. Okay, if we talk about this area. Okay, and now moving ahead to this Arctic Ocean. So Arctic Ocean is located within the Arctic Circle. Okay, in the north. Okay, and surrounds the North Pole. Okay, and connected with the Pacific Ocean by narrow stretch of shallow water known as Bering Strait. Okay, so Bering Strait here you can see that this America and this Eurasia, which is a connecting by this Bering Strait. Okay, because it is connecting this large water bodies, but you have this quite a less distance if you have to reach this Africa, this Eurasia, not Eurasia, is this Russia to America. Okay, okay. I'll now moving ahead to this about. Okay. Last one, last line is there. Okay, so it is bound by this northern coast of North America and Eurasia. Okay, yeah, obviously as I read earlier. Okay, I was trying to tell. Now moving ahead to this atmosphere. So the Earth is surrounded by a layer of gas that is called atmosphere. Okay, and this thin blanket of air is an integral and important aspect of the planet. Okay, and it provides us with air that we breathe and protects us from the harmful effects of sun rays. Okay, like ultraviolet radiation. Okay, UV radiation, you can say. Okay, in short. And the atmosphere extends up to a height of about 1600 kilometers. The atmosphere divided into five layers based on the composition, temperature, and properties. Okay, so three things are there through which on which basis atmosphere have been divided into five layers. So this one is this temperature, composition, and the properties. Okay, and this layers starting from the Earth's surface is called troposphere. So the lowermost layer is known as this troposphere, and just above that is stratosphere, and just above that mesosphere, and then thermosphere, and then exosphere. Okay, so the atmosphere is composed of mainly of nitrogen and oxygen. Okay, which makes up to 99% of the clean dry air, and nitrogen is about 78%, and oxygen is about 21%, and other gases like carbon dioxide, argon, and other comprise 1% by volume. So oxygen is the breath of life, while nitrogen helps us in the growth of living organisms. Carbon dioxide, though present in the minute amount, it is important as it absorbs the heat radiated by the earth. Okay, so whatever the amount of heat radiated by this earth, so this CO2 gets do absorbs. Okay, and thereby this heating process is there, okay, and thereby keeping the planet warm, okay. Otherwise it will become cold, okay. So if all the heats go away or past as it comes, okay, it is also essential for the growth of plants, and there is one thing, okay, the density of the atmosphere varies with height, okay. So density is not always equal or same everywhere, so it varies, okay, and is maximum at the sea level and decrease rapidly as we go up, okay. So okay, so yeah, it has been given here one practical example that climbers experiences problems in breathing due to this decrease in the density of the air, because as high you will go, so there will be thin voice, this air will become thin, and obviously it will affect or will become a problematic to breathe, okay. And thereby that is the reason why this oxygen cylinders carried by this mountain climbers, okay, while they are running or moving or trekking or climbing to this high rising mountains, okay. And the temperature also decreases as we go upwards, okay. So the atmosphere exerts pressure on the earth, okay, and this varies from place to place. Some areas experience high pressure and some areas low pressure, okay. And this and the air, there is one point this factor, okay. So the air moves from high pressure to low pressure, okay, always, okay, and moving air is known as wind. Okay, and now moving ahead to this last one is that is biosphere. So the domain of life. The biosphere is a narrow zone of contact between land, water, and air. So in other words, you can say this atmosphere, lithosphere, and this hydrosphere. So here you can see this a combined zone means an intermingling zone between this atmosphere, lithosphere, and hydrosphere, and thereby we have life. Okay. Hmm. And species of organisms that vary in size from microbes and bacteria to huge mammals. So all the living organisms, including humans, are linked to each other and to the biosphere for survival. And this organism is in the biosphere may be broadly divided into the plant kingdom and animal kingdom. So two kingdoms are there, so plant and animal, okay. So when it is about this organisms in the biosphere, okay, so the three domains of the earth interact with each other and affect each other in some way or other way. For example, cutting a forest for filling our needs of woods, or clearing land for agriculture for may lead to fast removal of soil from the slopes, and similarly earth's like surface may be changed due to natural calamities like earthquake. For example, there could be submergence of land as happened in the case of tsunami recently. Parts of Andaman and Nicobar Islands were submerged underwater, okay. So 2004 tsunami, okay, of India, that that hits. Okay, so the discharge of waste material into lakes and rivers makes the water unsuitable for human use, and it also damages all other forms of life. Okay, and here you have been given some facts of okay, emission from the industries, thermal power plants, a vehicle pollute the air. Carbon dioxide is the important constituent of the air. Okay, but the increase in the amount of CO2 leads to increase in the global temperature, which is also causing this global warming. Okay, so there is one fact also. So this climate change, okay, so climate change can be in either way, whether it is global cooling or global warming. So this time or this time we are facing this we are in the phase of this global warming, okay, just because the temperature is rising of this planet, so it is known as global warming, okay. And obviously a part of this climate change, Okay, so this is termed as global warming. There's a need to limit the use of resources of the earth to maintain the balance of the nature between the domains of the lithosphere, atmosphere, and the hydrosphere. Okay, so now you have exercises. Okay, so you okay, I'll read this. Okay, so what are the four major domains of the earth? Okay, so name the major continents as I've told you all the things. Okay, so name the continents that lie entirely in the southern hemisphere. Okay, and name the different layers of the atmosphere. Okay, why the earth is called blue planet. Okay, and why the northern hemisphere called the land hemisphere. Okay, and why is the biosphere important for living organisms. So these questions are quite easy to answer if we have read about this chapter quite in a quite nice way. Okay, so you can answer about all these questions. Okay, so this is okay, so next one is this tick mark question. So these are also okay. So mountain in that separates Europe from Asia, that is Ural. Okay, the continent North America linked to South America by this isthmus. Okay, Panama isthmus as we read. So the major constituent of this atmosphere percent. Okay, this nitrogen. Okay, and the domain of the earth consisting of solid rocks is this lithosphere, and which is the largest continent. Okay, so obviously this Asia. So now we have this fill in the blanks. Okay, deepest point. Okay, Mariana Trench. Ocean is named. Okay, India is named after this. Indian Ocean is named after this country. Okay, that is India. So the narrow zone and contact of land, water, and air, that is biosphere. Okay, the continent of Europe and Asia together known as Eurasia. Okay, the highest mountain peak of the earth is Mount Everest. Okay, so now it is chapter is over. Okay, so thank you for watching this video and have a good day.